MMA Boxing Talk here. Just wanted to talk about two rumors that I heard yesterday. Um, I was actually on Instagram. There's a great Instagram page called MMA Fight Night Live. They have like almost 50,000 followers, and they're really good at posting, rumors that, 9 times out of 10 come to fruition. And they also post fight announcements too. And everyone's on Instagram, so it's usually where I see a lot of breaking news or a lot of my rumors. So um, definitely go follow them. But the first one I want to talk about: Robbie Lawler versus Jorge Masvidal for the interim welterweight title in November at MSG, which is November 4th, UFC 217. Now, a lot of people are just going to complain anytime an interim title, um, gets made. But the reality is, this is when you have an interim title. Woodley has a torn rotator cuff. He's out at least 6 months. So instead of the division just waiting and guys taking fights that, there's no guarantee they get the title shot, I'm talking the Woodleys, or I'm talking the Wonder Boys, the Masvidals, and the Lawlers. I mean, if they're going to go out and fight, they might as well fight for something that will get them a title shot. And I really like Lawler versus Masvidal. That's a great matchup. They're both training partners in the past at ATT. I don't know how much they worked together, but I'm sure they did a bit. And both guys are stand-up fighters. Both guys are tough to take down. This is going to be a great fight. So I really hope it does come to fruition. And like I said, no problem. I mean, if Woodley's going to be out 6 months, that's what the interim's for. When the champion is inactive for a long period of time. There's definitely been some scenarios where they've put in an interim belt that didn't really make sense. But this one makes sense. So let's hope this fight happens. And I know it sucks for Wonder Boy. He was supposed to fight Masvidal, but I don't know what to say. The good news is Wonder Boy will probably fight a lesser opponent and probably look spectacular. So that's kind of nice to know. And then he'll get another shot at a really big fight after that if he can get a win under his belt. Now, the other fight I want to talk about is Cody Garbrandt versus TJ Dillashaw, rumored to be taking place in October 7th, UFC 216. I'd be thrilled if this fight gets made in October, because I remember hearing Cody Garbrandt about a month ago say that November is the earliest he's going to come back. He doesn't want to come back before November, and maybe he's healed quicker in the last month, and that October date is realistic. It's 2 months away, so Garbrandt would have to be almost fully recovered from his back, because you don't want to be healing your back while you should be training. And TJ Dillashaw is not an easy opponent. That's a very close fight. It's a pick'em fight. It's for obviously the bantamweight championship. And I made up. This would be like I said, a perfect fight for October, because September's card is already made. November is going to be stacked. We have Bisping, GSP. There's a good chance we'll have Lawler versus Masvidal. I heard Tony and Khabib is going to be on that November card. I've also heard rumors that Stipe Miocic, the UFC wants Stipe versus Kane at MSG as well. So that card's going to be stacked. Now, there's really nothing for October right now. There's a few fights scheduled, but nothing to really get excited about. So this fight would be ideal. This fight would make that card. People would buy that card just with Garbrandt Dillashaw as the main event. Now, and also it'll be interesting to see how Cody Garbrandt can, how many pay-per-views can he sell basically on his own, because if he would have fought at International Fight Week, this past July, well, that's a bad example because the card wasn't really, there was some good fights, but they fell off last minute or whatever. But if he'd have been on the November card, it really wouldn't give a good example of how many pay-per-views he can sell, because there'd be so many other big fights on that card. GSP's on that card, for example, so he's going to be the one pulling in all the fans. Where Garbrandt, if he fights in October, he'll be the man, you know. So he's got over 1 million followers on Instagram. So I'd be curious to see how that translates to pay-per-view buys. But let's hope that Cody is ready to fight in October, and they get that fight signed, sealed, and delivered, because that's one I've been waiting for a very long time. Garbrandt, Dillashaw, I mean, two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. I know TJ's not on the pound-for-pound list, but when he was champ, he was number 4 on the list or something like that, which probably is a little too high. But the guy is so skilled. He's so talented. He's well-rounded. He had a super close fight with Dominic Cruz, which a lot of people did think he won. I scored it for Cruz 3-2, but Dillashaw was coming, and if there was a 6th round, Dillashaw could have stole that fight. But they only fight 5-minute rounds. But that's it for this one. I just wanted to talk about a couple, huge rumors. Hopefully they happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you like the video, subscribe. Also check me out on Twitter at MABoxingTalk1. Peace.